Migas.
Well, that's how I order things at Taco Bell
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
took so much stuff off the menu. I have to order it.
Yeah, a la carte. You can actually create your own whatever it is
Is
now.
the Mexican pizza still sold out over there?
Yes.
I hadn't
Same,
checked the Portland one, but
same here. Same here.
did you get one when they came back?
Yes.
I'm not big on them.
Yeah, they're all right. I still like bean burritos, but they're real whatever with the cheese. When you ask, it's a pinch. That's extra cheese, just one little pinch. That's extra cheese, and that costs whatever amount it is. Because I asked, and I looked it up online, and I'm like, wow. And yet Richard told me that same thing too. Extra cheese is one pinch like that, and you just drop that.
How is it that you remember the good old days where you could get like 4 soft tacos and some like 2 quesadillas and it's not $22? It's not $25.
And the pintos and cheese
Yeah, you can get
and a
everything.
soda, a large soda.
Yeah.
And then their little cinnamon twists or what? Mm-mm. It tastes like air and artificial sweetener. I don't know. And I told someone, I said, no, it needs to taste like 89 Batman
Well,
cinnamon twists.
well, I've been chasing that burrito because they don't put the sauce in a ladle anymore because basically they would just pour all that stuff on there. The tortillas were huge. You would literally bite it and sauce and cheese would go all over the place, dude. It would literally go all over the place. Now it's a pump. It's one squish of a pump and it would just squirt out. And then if you want extra, they'll push the thing again and give you another squirt of this sauce. And then the cheese is like one pinch, and then you want extra cheese, and that's like
I don't remember.
it's
Did we ever eat Taco Bell before Batman?
Yeah,
No, I mean like when I was around.
yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember Batman time.
No, it was like if it was late night and Dad was like, we're gonna get a snack. Y'all want some Taco Bell or whatever? And it's like I'm getting a 12 pack of tacos, and if y'all want tacos, then you're gonna eat those tacos, and if you don't want tacos, then that's fine. I'm not gonna get this, that, and
So
everything.
we would drive all he would drive all the way to Corpus. But then again, we would drive all the way to Corpus to buy Long John Silver and then drive all the way back home to eat it.
We would drive all the way to Corpus to get Grandy's.
Well, I mean it's Grandy's. That's
Now I
That's
got to
the
drive
difference.
all the way to head to Victoria.
and you made the mistake of going on Sunday.
see,
No, it's only happened once.
I still have to make that trek. I haven't made that one yet.
They have one in El Paso too,
Yeah, I'm not driving there though.
but they have the baked beans. They don't have them in Victoria.
Oh man, see it has to have the baked beans, dude.
They don't have them.
Oh wow.
Do you remember when there was that kick of you like when mom would make beans, you just throw them in a bowl and put some barbecue sauce and mix them up and
Yeah, I mean that's the the bowl. I mean,
you would
I
put
do
them in the
that.
green bowl.
I would do that with fideo. I do that when just throw everything in it. If it's beans, I'll throw it all in there. It's a
You
bowl
didn't.
with whatever. I'll just
You didn't
eat
go
it that
after
way.
KFC for copyright infringements.
Yeah, no kidding, right? They have those mixy bowl things, those mac and cheese chicken bowls.
Well, right now they have the mac bowls, but
Yeah.
before they had just the regular potato and corn and chicken on top. And
Yep. The
So
mixed bowls.
Fideo, have you when I mean we usually mom would put meat in it, right?
well, it depended if it was the side or if it was the main course. If it was the main course, it would either be cut up pieces of fajita or
Chuck.
steak or
Yeah.
something. And if it was a side, then it would just have the onion and tomato and that's it, and bell pepper.
Salmon patties.
No, they're
Almundigas.
almundigos. Yep.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing. When I looked that shit up, those are meat. Those are like
Meatballs.
balls. Exactly.
Meatballs.
And every
That's what
time I
almundiga
asked that,
means.
right. And so there's this misnomer that mom would call them that, but I
No,
did
no,
find
no.
some. Oh, you are correct. I did find somewhere that they did call those salmon patties that, and I was like, but for the most part, you will find them as meatballs. That was a staple, usually around Lent, but on awesome occasions or whatever it was, we were pleasantly surprised when we would see those salmon patties with those caramelized pieces of onion just staring at you, hanging around like eyeballs or whatever you want to call it. But
there's bone. Oh, you can eat those.
yeah.
Yeah.
What of that staple? We had sides that usually would go with that. What are your memories of that, Richard? That when it came to salmon patties.
Well, one of the main arguments was I don't think any of us ever used tartar sauce for the salmon patties. I think everybody used ketchup.
Ketchup again, yes.
And is that something
pretty-
people who puts ketchup on salmon? But we did. The sides, I remember it was like the go-to side was pea salad. And I'm trying to remember it. Maybe every now and then we'd get asparagus on the side with it, or
With the slice of Velveeta cheese on American cheese,
or, or the carrots, the carrots and butter. Yeah, the canned ones. It was what was the can that they would use? Was it the silver can or was that the peas?
It was the orange.
Peas and asparagus were in those silver cans.
In the silver can, right?
Yeah, the asparagus spears, all floppy.
Yeah,
with a piece of cheese right on top.
So
American
real
cheese.
quick side note, when we're eating broccoli and stuff, it always reminds me. I brought it up to the kids one time. I was like, Grandpa used to pull the sliced cheese out and put it on each individual broccoli, and after it was all hot and it would melt on there, and that's
go to
how I
sleep,
remember.
little broccolis. Go to sleep.
And they're just looking at me like, well, because one, it's like we don't eat cheese on broccoli, and I miss that. It's like one of those things where I'm the lone, man, what's Dad doing? And
I hated when they wanted to experiment with Brussels sprouts. I don't know why or how they cooked them. They didn't come out right. They were real bitter, dude.
Oh yeah, but
I like them now. Balsamic vinegar, and you make them certain way, whatever, and they taste good.
Bacon bits and roast them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just
you cook them in bacon oil,
some
bacon
butter.
grease.
Yeah, you can do butter.
Bacon
you can do all
with
kinds of
extra
stuff.
Oil. You get some Crisco.
Yeah, but we didn't have
Put that lard in there.
That was not on the menu of the way we ate those things at all. All the green things were cooked the same way.
When again, a lot of my eyes opened up when I got married, because there are just things that she just looked at me. I'm like, oh, we're gonna make rice, and I'm over here getting the comment or the minute rice, and she's like, no, I have a rice cooker. I'm like, what's a rice cooker?
It's a rice cooker.
No,
it
we
takes
gotta
that
have
long
that.
to make rice. Well, Mom never skimped out on Spanish rice, Mexican rice.
Oh yeah, no. She made it.
That was authentic. Cooking would smell up the entire house, watching it boil and all that kind of stuff.
And I remember authentic. I did not like white rice. And what did Richard tell me? You're not a Perez then. All Perez's love white rice.
Sticky.
That means
brother.
He goes, that means you're not a Perez. I remember that.
You're adopted.
That's when you became Scott.
Yep.
Yeah, the sticky rice, dude. The sticky rice was something that I don't know what it was, because even at school it was sticky rice. It was real glutinous. It was just stuck together. The what would come out of that rice. And so for me, beef tips and rice had to have that sticky rice vibe. So when Mom would make roast, and if we had either mashed potatoes or rice or whatever, I liked that sticky rice, white sticky rice.
Yeah, it's nothing like putting brown gravy on sticky rice and just go to town on that. That's just something.
So in the Navy, they usually serve rice also for breakfast. And I never understood it. I'd see people, and it'd even be a dinner. They would get a bowl of rice and pour sugar in it and eat it.
Yeah, you would eat that too. It's called rice tole.
Yeah, but no, this was just regular cooked rice, and it was ship rice, so it was just.
It's the same flavor though. You add the sugar to sweeten it, and it just doesn't have the creamy
The creamy
leche
leche.
pet or the eagle milk or whatever one you're gonna put. I think it's leche pet, right?
It,
Pet milk.
evaporated milk.
Yep.
It's
So
evaporated.
I would need to ask Jess. I don't remember if she ate salmon patties before me. I don't remember.
You introduced it to the fam.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can't remember because, like I said, there's a lot of things. Like I said, with even the rice. You know, I always tell the story. The first time we went shopping together, and she was like, "I'm going to make spaghetti," and I went to go get the ragu or prego, and she's like, "Not in my house." Granted, after 11 kids, yeah, we'll sometimes grab that jar of spaghetti sauce, but not usually.
Let's go back to that. What
With
sauce?
extra oregano.
Which sauce?
Veronica dinner.
Were you Rich? Were you a ragu or a prego or what was your go-to sauce? I mean, there's some sauces recently that I mean, it's different now. I mean, I'll get something like with black olives and capers or something like that. But I mean,
You and your capers, man.
but if it's just a regular sauce, I don't know what it is about prego.
He misses Mad Capers when he would run off, and Keystone Capers, and he misses his capers.
I miss my capers. But I tend to like the prego sauce. Like if it's just a regular marinara prego sauce or something like that.
I'm not big on marinara. I don't like marinara.
I just said marinara. Whatever's
I
red.
know,
Okay,
but
red sauce.
I'm just saying. I mean, the garlic basil or the 3 cheese, 4 cheese, 5 cheese ones, or
10 cheese.
Yeah, they got they got different ones, but trying to remember the brand name. I mean, the HEB one is not bad.
No, I know. Yeah, that's where I get that.
That one's. But roll. I'm sorry. You probably didn't get many of those. The HEB brand ones.
No, they quite stuck with ragu, right?
Who?
You? Before you would make it, but afterwards you got a big family. So what is your go-to?
Well, okay.
Now?
Paul Newman.
No. What I'm saying is that a very, very far, I can count on my hand probably the times we've gotten jar. So I'm saying, like, she at first was saying never, but we have in the past. No, when Jess does it, she throws the garlic and the onion in there.
So it's still
stable. She makes it. Okay. She makes it. Yeah. And then she makes a big batch because usually she'll have some saved over for some lasagna.
I think we all share the same. I was going to go the very first type of Asian food that we ever had. And I think we all had the same starting point because we never ate Asian food at any Chinese restaurant ever in our household until afterwards. I don't know.
Dad would buy frozen egg rolls and he would cook the egg rolls there at the house and we would eat those.
But he would also get those cans, chow mein, whatever,
lo choy or something like that.
The choy, whatever. He would get that, and that was Chinese food for us there.
The 2 can separate piece, the small can on top and the big can on bottom attached.
Yep. That was Chinese food for us. We never went to it. I find it bizarre. It wasn't until HEB was like when I got older, and then HEB would have Chinese food. And that was when I started like actually trying something different than whatever because like for the longest time, I just thought it was in whatever was in those cans. I remember seeing Asian restaurants around, but we never went into those. What's in the bowl?
I mean, that's still something I don't get. I mean,
really?
If I do, it might be sweet and sour chicken or something along those lines, but that's about it. I mean, occasionally some lo mein noodles with some, if I'm at a buffet, I'm going to take them the stuff like at a hibachi the buffet, you can put what you want and they'll
Right.
cook it for you.
They'll
You
cook
put it
it
on the
for you.
plate, you hand
Yeah.
it to them, and they ask you, you want spicy oil or regular oil? I go, spicy? What the hell, spicy oil? Just give me regular oil, man. You know, don't cook it the right way. Just cook it the way I want it. And eat it that way.
Okay, so let me go back one. So before that, you got mom and dad were eating the canned stuff out of the can, and then in between there,
I barely remember that.
Well, it wasn't that often.
yeah, it was,
Right.
yeah, that's what I mean. It was just like, it was like when we had beef stroganoff more than we'd ever have Asian food.
And it wasn't from a box when we originally were eating it.
Right. Yeah.
They would make it.
They would make that with the egg noodles.
Mm-hmm.
And I love those egg noodles.
Do we ever eat ramen? Was that ever
I don't believe so.
I've eaten more ramen than who knows since I've left the house, but I don't. And so, like I said, there's a lot of things that yeah, Asian food. I tell them, I've told them, I'm like, yeah, we didn't eat Asian food growing up.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, for some reason, I can't remember boiling water and sticking that crap in the thing. Or a cup of noodles. I don't remember that. I don't.
We had cup of noodles, but we never had
ramen.
ramen.
Okay.
We never really had ramen in the house. I mean, the
Well-
only time I eat ramen is when we get devastated by a hurricane, and
Did
then
we
I get a
get-
bottle of water and cook it, and
Yeah,
otherwise,
poor man's food.
Well, what about
don't-
what about cup of pizza?
well, have you ever had what is it, pizza cone?
Mm-mm.
And they also have chili cone carne at Disney. It's at Disneyland in California. It's at Radiator Springs.
I've never been to either one of
They
those.
have it. It's a pizza cone, and it's a pretty good sized pizza cone. And
There's been very few times I've actually eaten it because of the expensiveness.
yeah, but when you're there,
no. When it was just Jess, Mia, and I,
y'all had sandwiches in
we
your
did.
pockets.
No. When it was just us three, we did the breakfast with the characters. So we have pictures of Pluto and Chip and Dale messing with Mia while we're trying to eat. And then the last time we actually ate there was Galaxy's Edge. And when we went through, and I went to the cashier, she looks at the price and she looks at me. She's like, "Do you have a resort pass? Like, are you like a food pass or like a discount?" I'm like, "No." You guys said you do military? She's like, "No." She looks at the price again and she goes, "I'm going to give you my discount." And she gave me her discount at Disney.
Wow.
Because of how much, for crying out loud.
You could have stayed in the Millennium Falcon for that. Never mind. I was going to pose the question of seafood. Now there was seafood at home, but then there was actual going to a restaurant and stuff like that, and
then the DuPont picnic.
seafood at the DuPont picnic, or you mean just in general?
The
No,
shrimps.
the peel 'em shrimps.
Oh,
The
okay,
shrimps,
okay,
man.
okay,
We'd get the plate and just
yeah,
salt and everything. Salt and
Caca
everything.
and
Salt and
everything, all
watermelon.
the turd and everything. Just
Oh, that was the best part.
they weren't deveined, nothing, dude. We were
But they
all
were jumbo.
hillbilly style. Oh,
They were
that's
jumbo, so
okay.
when you
So it didn't
peeled them,
matter.
it was easy to take it out while you peeled them.
Okay.
Yeah, you use the towel and you scrape it out with the towel. I think the record I know of is 60 in one sitting.
If I remember,
Jumbo shrimps.
Dad would make catfish.
Yeah.
So our seafood was the salmon patties and catfish. I think, and of course, if we caught fish.
Well, Dad would go. Dad would bring back those shrimp. He would go get that bait shrimp and bring it back. And then when we were growing up, I don't know about you, but we would actually eat oysters from a jar.
Yes,
it wasn't bait shrimp. It was fresh shrimp. People just used it for bait because depending on the size, they would separate them, the smaller ones and the larger ones. And no, I mean, you can go right now to the T Heads and that's where HEB gets their stuff too.
Well, it's not like we ate the chum from freaking Jaws and stuff like that.
No, it's the holiday roast.
Yeah, the holiday roast. My wife's gonna kill
So,
me.
um,
Oh yeah, but okay. So there was that. Dad did the shrimp. So that's where we get
every
the
other
shrimp from. We'd do
every
that.
other Friday was a Red Lobster.
That's what I wanted to bring up. What was
Popcorn chicken
what?
or popcorn shrimp.
Okay, that would be what you would get, and but we got a little bit. We were older. We would do the all you can eat.
No. You remember the time that Roland ordered the Neptune's platter?
Right, the big plate. Right.
Oh my good! And he
I
didn't finish it.
He didn't finish it. Yeah, the
Oh
big
man!
faux pas.
But
Well, the thing was that are you going to get a salad or are you going to get the applesauce?
applesauce.
They didn't like us getting the salad because we were going to leave it all there. They wanted to make sure we ate everything.
That's when I knew I leveled up. I don't do the applesauce
And
anymore.
then
And then I'm like,
we did the blue cheese because Dad did
Yeah,
the blue cheese.
and I would eat the blue cheese. I had the blue cheese Whataburger.
I
It was actually
love
pretty
blue
good.
cheese.
Yeah,
I love blue cheese. And
but
so
but the all you
we
can
took
eat was
Christian.
awesome. The all you can eat was awesome. That was like I mean they don't do that anymore. It was like $7.99 all you can eat. It was what it was popcorn shrimp, clams, or fried fish, right?
Yeah,
You would pick whatever
but
one you wanted as it
but
rotate.
the one Dad liked was the all you can eat Alaskan snow crab.
Right. He would get that. We wouldn't get
And
that.
and then they stopped doing it because people could put down some snow crab when they go in there for all you can eat, and
Right.
I think they were losing money.
And then he would get the rock shrimp.
Yep.
The rock shrimp.
As I grew up and the few times we went to Red Lobster, Admiral's Feast.
Yeah, that was a staple, man.
I can finish that now. I can finish those things.
Neptune platter, yeah, that was and that was kind of a smaller plate too. It's not, I looked up an old menu of Red Lobster from that era just to see the names because some of those names they don't do that anymore.
And nothing back then said blackened on it.
Yeah, that's right. There was no blackened. I remember that whole era of everything blackened. They had all this blackened crap.
They didn't have like the cheddar biscuits.
Nope.
But I'll tell you what, now those things are. I mean, you can buy the box to make them yourself at home.
Wasn't that the first place that we actually had mozzarella
Garlic
sticks?
garlic bread. We would get the garlic bread, and it would be that oval shape like the French bread.
Yeah.
And hard. Yeah, it was like, oh man, that was.
But that was the first. That was the first place we actually had mozzarella sticks, right?
We always get the fried zucchini.
Well, yeah, that's right. We'd have zucchini. We wouldn't. I mean, it was seldom that we would get appetizer, but I remember that was I thought it was the first place that we ever had a mozzarella stick of some kind, cheese stick.
I just remember though.
Zucchini,
to me,
the zucchini.
I remember So when I first got to California, Carl's Jr.'s fried zucchini was awesome. At a fast food, they would sell fried zucchini, and it was awesome. And now it's not the same. It's
right.
I don't know if they're cooking it in different stuff, but
yeah, that was a staple. We would get that fried zucchini.
20 years later, and the Carl's Jr. fried zucchini isn't the same.
No,
but then again, Del Taco is different, so
they did.
I just used to order a steak taco.
What'd you
the macho nacho, the macho burrito, some steak tacos, and then I remember we came and visited one time, and I was going to Del Taco, and Mia was like, "Oh, can I get steak taco?" I'm like, "Of course." And I go over there, and I'm like, "I'll take a steak taco," and they're all, "We have carne asada fresca," and I'm like, "I just want a steak taco. What's carne asada?" I'm like, whatever. And it was not the same, of course, but you still get the chili cheese fries and the Del burger. Oh man,
we never had cheese sticks from when we would get stuff from Canine back in the day.
I remember Dad would stop there. I remember we always wanted to get something there, and it'd be like the late night snack. We'd be coming home from grandma's.
Yeah, from a dance or from grandma's or from.
And I remember he would get. Maybe you're right. It was like maybe some
fried
shrimp, or we'd eat and it would be just some kind of little combo deal, and we would try that. I don't know if that's where the cheese sticks would come from.
So to go back on the seafood, there was a Long John Silver and of course boat net.
Yes. Yep.
You'd squeeze that lemon on there and get the bread and dip it in the tartar sauce.
But Long John Silver's, real quick before we go back to Boatnet, Long John Silver's was completely different than what it is now.
The crunchies were for free.
Yeah, and then it would be like you could see everything that was available. It was like that globe, whatever,
like
and it was like you
buffet,
walked
almost like
onto
buffet style.
you walked onto a ship, and then you would take a look at what was available, and then I don't know what it was. I think we always got fish and
Chicken.
hush puppies or something like that, but I don't know. I remember I started asking for chicken, and Mom was like, well, I don't know about you. You know, do you don't want to eat that, whatever? And I started getting more of the chicken. And the plank was like a butter. It was like what is it? Like a breadstick, man. It was like a Olive Garden breadstick length. And now they're not like that anymore. They're like there's little, I don't know, like.
And you have to pay for crunchies.
Yeah, if you want extra crunchies and all this kind of stuff.
No, not extra. They make sure you don't get crunchies, and then you have to.
Yeah, the crunchies. Yeah, the crunchies were like when they would get a fish, and you would automatically get some crunchies. And now
it was put on a bed of crunchies.
Yeah.
But Boatnet, I remember we used to get a lot. Well, from what I remember. But yeah, we we would get the fish sticks, Morton's. We'd get the fish sticks and then the fish fillets.
Yeah, the Gordon's.
Gorton's or something like that.
Right.
And
the jar of tartar sauce. And then you can go back to Boatnet, where, and aside from being a little bit drier now, the batter and stuff like that of the fish and the shrimp are pretty much almost the same in a way. I think, but I haven't been there. It's been a while since I've been to Boatnet.
I thought they all closed down.
No,
rats and stuff.
No, Boatnets are still they still got two of them open. The one on Castoris and the one on Port.
Yep.
I just remember there was one open by the base, and just when I got there, and then they closed down because of rats or something. Hey, I saw that they closed the Hamlin Pharmacy.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Sandy's.
I think it's called Sandy's. It's gonna open up another deli there.
Yeah, they have like a diner that was kind of like in 6 Points area, and they're gonna take their show on the road over there.
What was the name of that deli that we would eat at, that we would get like gift cards from Miracle and King in the Morning? Was it Blue Swan? What was it?
Blue Swan Deli.
Oh man.
Blue Swan Deli.
Those sandwiches were awesome. And then we would sometimes go to Mac's and get the sandwiches there.
That's a lost thing. I don't know if they make. I've had a po' boy and it's okay, but for some reason I don't know what it is. It doesn't. It's not, to me. It's not the same like because that's what we would get. We'd all get po' boys, and we'd eat that. And
it depends on who's cutting the meat at the time when you get it done.
Okay.
Because they have different people still cutting.
All right.
And what was it?
And then the Cajun, country Cajun. What was it called? Black. Is that what it's called? Right, country Cajun.
Yeah, country Cajun.
And then
that was Buenos Dias, and then country Cajun, right?
Well, okay.
You're talking about La Iguana?
La Iguana. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Now, yeah, many iguanas later. But the sampler, you'd get the 3 sampler thing, or you get a po' boy sandwich.
So, okay, what about Olive Garden? I used to get the tour of Italy, and then all of a sudden we hadn't been there for a long time, and I went, and the veal and parmesan went from like that to this little nugget. It's like a veal nugget. It wasn't. I was like, and it was all dry and I did not feel like family there.
Yeah, the tour of Italy became just a tour of a block or something. It wasn't even a tour of Italy. It was like,
where is it? What other places were like a staple that we would eat at? The Longhorn.
Well, we used to eat at Hardee's because somebody liked it.
Who?
You. You were the main reason we would eat at Hardee's.
I know what was
When,
up with that.
uh,
You say that now, and the memories.
when we were younger, we would eat the Burger Chef. We wouldn't go to McDonald's. And the only reason we would go to McDonald's would be for the cookies. And that was it.
Well,
I don't
and
ever
then
remember like eating Happy
but
Meals and
then
crap like that.
right, and I think it was like me, so another reason to hate me. But I remember getting Happy Meals, and then we would. It was the summers of
Summer specials.
the summer special. Mom, oh, the Big Macs are on sale. They're $1. You're gonna eat Big Macs all summer while this.
Well, the thing was, you couldn't get it through the drive window. You had to get off and buy it in person. And they had the cheeseburger and the regular small hamburgers, like 29 cents and 49 cents or some crazy price like that, or even cheaper than that. And then they would do the Big Mac where you'd buy a Big Mac and there'd be like $1 or something like that.
I think 39 cents for the regular little burger and
49 cents.
49 or 59 cents for the
Right.
cheeseburger. And at those prices, we would take the neighbors with us, and we would all get burgers.
Yeah, we'd be getting like $10 worth of burgers or something like that. Mom would give money there. Richard would go in, and I would go in, or whatever the case may be, and we're coming out with bags.
Ronnie and Roland and Randy, we all would go.
All summer long, they'd be eating frozen hamburgers because they put them all in the freezer, and they'd be eating hamburgers every time they'd come over. Whataburger, we shared fries. You remember that? We wouldn't get our own fries. We'd all put them in the middle.
See, I remember, and so I remember there was a few times that Dad would pick me up from school, and we would go eat at Whataburger. Well, of course, I'd just get a Just a Burger at that time, but I remember that. And then Dairy Queen steak fingers, steak finger basket, Floyd's
chicken fried steaks.
Yep. I mean, I know we used to go to the one by Grandy's, but Grandy's.
Well, Grandy's right there. Grandy's was a staple also. We go into town and get the chicken fried steak.
Because it was close to Grandma's house too, so we would.
Yeah.
I remember always driving home and always looking at the off ramp, going, "Are we going to go to Grandma's? Are we going to go to Grandma's? And then we passed it. We did. And then if I didn't finish my meal, by the time we got home, I'd finish it because I got hungry on the drive home.
Well, either that or you had the leftovers and everybody would pick at them at Grandma's.
With the dog on the bag.
The doggy bag, yep.
The doggy bag. And then that would be extra wait a minute. How did we do that? Because I mean, we were doing an all you can eat usually most of the time. How are we taking shrimp and you don't do that in all you can eat. You can't take that crap home anymore.
The all you can eat was seasonal. So it only happened during certain times of the year. The other times we would either get the popcorn shrimp or the combination plate or something along those lines at Red Lobster when we were younger. And a Shirley Temple or Roy Rogers.
Yep.
I just remember a few times Mom would complain about the meal, but then she'd be like, "Oh no, I'm taking it home."
And take home the take home glasses.
Here's something that was funny that a lot of people, I'm surprised. So I remember growing up and them calling in an order to Whataburger, and then when we'd go to the drive-thru, pick up order for Perez, and we'd pick up the food. So I remember there was a lot of times that as an adult, people are like, "Well, I just don't want to wait in line and wait for my food." And I'm like, "Well, why don't you call it in?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" And they'd never heard of that. I'm like, "Well, you call an order in and you go pick it up." And then, hey, look, curbside became a thing with COVID. But either way, it was I just thought it was something. It's just like how growing up at HEB at the supermarket, they would walk your cart out with you and unload your groceries for you.
Yeah.
They still do that.
No. Okay, I understand that. But then you leave South Texas and you go to a different place and you look at them and they're like, "What? Oh,
Yeah,
Okay, and then
it was an automatic courtesy that they would do. They would actually ask you, "Would you like your groceries taken out?" Back in the day, and
yeah.
it was like an automatic understanding. To me, the automatic has disappeared. Like if I order French fries at Whataburger, I expect to get ketchup. If I don't say anything, they're not putting ketchup in my thing anymore. A lot of the things that were like courtesies, they don't do that anymore. It's like it's
Well,
all,
heck,
you know.
you have to ask for napkins and
Yeah,
um
yeah, the utensils and
water.
yeah, stuff like that. Oh,
You
at
have to ask for
restaurants.
water because yeah, there's certain places, and then you're like, can I have a straw?
Oh,
And
you don't
some
want, but you don't
places
want to
give you
kill a
the
dolphin.
some people they give you the big paper straw that you're like, why? Why? You're making me drink, and it's like by the time you're done, it's like wet. I don't know. Oh, so also when I lived in Maine, I ate lobster. It was so cheap. It was cheap, and in Maine, you didn't have to worry about buying seafood on the side of the road because these dudes were fishermen and they were just trying to sell what they caught.
Right, right.
So it was like fresh. And so I remember my mother-in-law visited and we went to this one place and she was buying the lobster and we were like, whoa, this is expensive. And she's like, no, you understand. Out in the desert, it's costing like $15 a pound. And it's like expensive. So like over in Maine, you'd buy a lobster for each person because it wasn't
Right.
that expensive. And something that again I didn't realize that people, I don't know, I guess people didn't go to Red Lobster because you would go and people would pick out their lobster. And a story from one of the squadrons, especially being in Maine, used to kind of barter and get favors because you were going to hook someone up with lobster. And so one of the pilots did that for his buddy. And later he talked to him. He's like, so how'd it come out? And he's like, I had to throw them all away. He's like, why? He goes, they were all bad. They were brown and green. And he was like, they turn red when you cook them. And so he threw away a whole bunch of lobster because he thought they went bad because he thought they were red.
Wow. Oh well. User beware. Dude, I remember we'd get those beef jerky cans and we'd just be eating all that. So just
We would have to leave one for dad.
yeah, we'd eat the crap out of those beef jerkies.
I mean, steakums. I
Oh, yeah.
remember. I wouldn't eat the potted meat, but deviled ham,
Oh, love potted meat.
Vienna sausages.
There you go.
Crackers and sausages.
All the hurricane foods.
Yeah, that's what I buy. I keep
Yeah.
some of those in the pantry just in case.
Just in case, yeah. The hurricane
Yes.
food, whatever needed, deviled ham, whatever, and potted
With the
meats.
double devil on it.
Yep.
Yep, still there. Yeah.
I think I still
So
have one. I think I got a can in the pantry.
What about you, Ro? Any?
one thing that I still do because of dad, I'll cut up summer sausage, grapes, apples, cheese, and crackers, and we just chill and watch something, and that's what we eat. And it's because I remember dad used to cut that up or I remember the oysters. I remember
The days of going to Luby's and
Opening the fire exit.
and no, that was Sambo's. I think we opened the
No,
fire
that's where
exit
you
at
did
Sambo's.
Sambo's. I remember Roland did Luby's.
There you go. And getting the fish, the
Luann's
tartar
platter,
sauce, yeah, the fish and the macaroni and mashed potatoes, and then afterwards, even though
With the
we
brown
ate,
gravy.
and even though we ate, then we would go to Hickory Farms and taste test different cheeses, and that's where I first had Gouda cheese, and
Was it Gouda?
it was Gouda, and we get that ham and
Root beer
Hickory
barrels.
Farms ham, and yep, all
then the
those.
strawberry candies.
Yep. There would various peppermint type of stick
They
flavors.
they
and
moved
stuff.
all those barrels over to Cracker Barrel now.
Yeah, everything's over there now. Yeah, and all those peppermint sticks and everything, all that stuff's over there now.
I remember being at Luby's and Dad, when they would get him the macaroni, he'd be like, "No, I want the cheese top, the crust of the cheese."
The cheese,
And
yeah,
so
not the already scraped up
underneath, yeah.
the underneath stuff. But and then of course mom getting liver and onions. Part of the nutritious breakfast there. But there's still a whole bunch of other culinary delights that our family, we didn't even touch on breakfast cereal, but we'll definitely
Or meatloaf.
revisit. Yeah, we didn't even touch on that either. There's a bunch of other things, the popcorn maker, the all
Corned beef
kinds
and
of
cabbage.
yeah, and tongue and
Oh,
and different sodas, the way we did soda. So definitely some more information for a show for another time. But I want to thank everybody for listening to the Migas podcast, and we will definitely see you next time.